What is up? It's your boy Cali, aka Mr. LDS, bringing you another episode of the Hot Seat. Rain, sleet, or snow. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I would get him here. BigKep13 joined the seat, and he did not hold back. He broke silence. He told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Make sure y'all hit that sub button, hit that like button. Let's hop into this video.
What did you say, nigga?
Say something slick, you getting packed the fuck out. Homie, I'm about to black the fuck out.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Cali, aka Mr. LDS. We got the one and only BigKep13 on the hot seat today. It's definitely gonna get real today. So we're gonna start off with I just want to give a shout out first to J Wall on winning the MCS. Yeah, we're gonna move on from that because I fucking hate Madden. So let's start with what's your name and where you from?
To hate Madden, you sure as hell play it a lot.
I do. That's a love-hate relationship. But what's your name? Where you from?
You can call me Kep. I don't like when dudes call me Big Kep because it sounds kind of sexual. But just call me Kep. Just the first three letters in my last name has been my nickname since I was in grade school, probably like second, third grade. But put the big in front of it because I'm the oldest of three brothers, so it's the only reason it's big. That in my mouth, but whatever.
Pause.
No pause. People secure in their sexuality don't say pause, no homo, none of that stuff. I'm secure in my sexuality. I like women. I'm good.
All right.
Well, those of y'all that are still trying to figure it out and aren't quite sure, you gotta say pause and all that stuff. Like I don't do that. All right. I'm in the middle of my third divorce. I like women. But anyway, you call me Kep. 39 years old. Originally born and raised right outside of Philadelphia, Reading, PA. They call it Little Philly. But I got a lot of family in South Philly, so I spent many summers in Philly. So I'm Philly everything. Anybody that knows me knows I'm Philly everything. Right down to the socks. So, but yeah. My real name is Bradley, spelled with two E's. Not E-Y, spelled with two E's.
All right. So let's start.
I don't mind the hotness. Again, a lot of y'all that are gonna watch this probably know me. For those of you that don't, you're gonna get to know me probably a little bit. You're gonna love me or hate me. There's really no in between. You either love me or you hate me. There's not much in between. And if you are in between, stick around and you're either gonna love me or you're gonna hate me. Once I saw you doing this, I was like, hot seat, huh? I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw my name out there. I'm gonna tell Raider Life, which is Cali's president. I was like, I'll come in there. I don't shy away from anything. I've been doing this. Actually, tomorrow will be 5 years that I've been streaming Madden on Twitch. Tomorrow will be 5 years. Over that 5 years, I've gotten myself in the middle of situations. I'm still here with whatever you consider success. I've sustained it over 5 years. And
Right.
Grown. So we'll see. Let's get into it.
All right. So before we get into the really hot questions, let's start with the problem I would say the problem that you had with me.
That was a couple. It wasn't just one. It was a couple.
Okay. So what was it that I guess a situation I did that made you mad or upset with me?
I think the first thing, like, 'cause I used to rock with you all the time, like you and Raider and your cousin, because y'all are cousins, so I rocked with both of y'all heavy. And then, the late night crew, Pony and E, so it was you four. I would bounce between you and Raider because y'all were, streaming at the same times and whatnot, but I would bounce between y'all, and I was in your chat every day, kicking it, and, helping you with things, trying to, help you set up stuff, and I wanted to see you grow because you were good at the game. You talked to your chat, like you were interactive. You treated people with respect that deserve respect, and you shit on people that deserve to be shit on, and that's how I roll. Like you treat those not the way you want to be treated. You treat those according to how they act. I'm not into that whole treat people the way you want to be treated. No, I'm not gonna be nice to you. I'm not gonna be nice to you. I'm not gonna treat you like a human if you act like a dog. I'm gonna treat you like a dog if you act like a dog. And that's why I like you and your cousin and a lot of the guys that are still around that act that way. But I think the first time I had an issue was when there was word about the ViewBot and stuff, and then you raiding Grizz with it, and then thinking it was funny and thinking it was a joke or whatever, and I just didn't I didn't take too kindly to that, knowing that you wanted to make partner, and if you were taking it seriously, you would have not viewbotted it, or you would have not rated Grizz, you wouldn't have thought it was a joke, and then I know, like, even before, there was another thing too, like just the way you moved a little bit. And I know everybody moves differently, but in life you're not gonna like the way everybody moves. And then once I started watching you more, I saw the way you moved, and your whole thing was closed mouths don't get fed. And being where I'm from, being where you're from, I could understand that a little bit, but knowing that I grew to where I got without asking for anything, or without asking for anything, like the whole sub thing, and doing the whole donation goals and all this other stuff. Like, I just fell back a little bit. I didn't say nothing, I just fell back. And I know you recognize that. Like, you recognize that I fell back, because you fell back too. And we're both grown, so rather than beef about shit, we just go our separate ways, and just we're not children. We're not gonna argue over dumb shit. We're just gonna fall back.
Right.
And then I started watching you more, and I just felt like you were stagnant. Like, I didn't feel like you were taking it serious. Like, you didn't want to upgrade your equipment. You didn't want to upgrade the sound quality. I told you like 50 times, yo, your text from your Elgato, it's pixelated. Fix your shit.
Yeah, you did.
Tell you how to fix it. Yeah, man, I'll do it, whatever. Like, you were just going through the motions, just wanting to. I was like, all right, man. He's just whatever. He just wants to collect his subs, collect his little bit of Twitch money, and just say fuck it. So I was like, all right, I'll fall back. And then I saw you, after that, whatever. And we might have gotten into it a couple times on Twitter about stupid shit. I can't even remember, because it's really not that serious.
Yeah.
But because we're kind of like the same person, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Typically, when you get two of the same people that are hard-headed, stubborn, got big mouths, you're gonna clash, whatever. But I never took it that serious with you. So as time went on, I saw that you were upgrading your stuff. You fixed your pixelated shit finally, and I was in charge of putting on a tournament, or helping put on a tournament. I was like, all right, you know what? I want to get Cali's name out there. He's been doing this a long time. Same with your cousin. I tried to get him, but work schedule, whatever, so he couldn't participate in the tournament. So you were one of the first ones I asked, and you accepted. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put my neck out there. He's not. I don't care if my other people's beef with you isn't my beef. And it was like, all right, you sure you want him? I was like, yeah, I'm sure I want him. He's been playing this game forever. He's been part of the community forever. Whatever, I'll put the past in the past, whatever. I want him to showcase his stream, showcase, what he has to offer the community, and maybe, his stream could grow a little bit. And that was my main goal, was everybody that I picked to be in that tournament. It wasn't necessarily pro players. Like, there was a couple, but it was guys, content creators, so to speak, and just wanting people to see everybody that was in the community. I'm not with the new movement of the Madden community. I'm not with the new streaming movement. There's a couple of them that are, I'll mess with, and that are good for the community, that are good for, they're doing it for the right reasons. But for the most part, I'm not down with the new wave of streaming in the Madden community. I'm just not. And I don't make that a secret. I've said it to people privately. I've said it publicly. I've been in the game 5 years, and it has completely changed. It has drastically changed from when I first came into how it is now. But Zand, a buddy of mine, was a buddy of mine. He ended up winning a tournament, and he gave, and I know you know this, he decided to give the winnings to charity. And you were very outspoken about, well, why, there's people that needed it, why if we invite somebody into the tournament, and if he wins, he's just gonna give it away. There's people that need that. And I didn't say nothing. I let other people. I've tried to turn a new leaf when it comes to Twitter, because Twitter could ruin your day in a snap of a finger. And over the last few months, I've been going through a lot of personal shit in my own life that there's just some shit that just ain't worth it. So even before that, I was trying to turn a new leaf with Twitter, because I just didn't want it to mess with me as much as it was mentally. But so I just left it alone. And then I talked to your cousin about it, and he's like, yeah, I'll talk to him, whatever. And and that was pretty much it for me. I was like, all right, I'm backing all the way off him now. I stuck my neck out for him. I wanted to help him out, and I didn't say it publicly. And this is the first time I'm saying it, that the people that I picked for that tournament, I was trying to help them. I was trying to, minus a couple, to finish out the brackets and whatnot. But for the most part, it was people that I wanted to get eyes on, because I knew with the OG network stuff, like we weren't just starting out. Like, people knew who the group was, and I knew there was going to be a lot of eyes on the tournament, which there was. And I was just trying to help people out, and I felt like it wasn't just you weren't just spitting in the face of the entire tournament, but you were spitting in my face because I stuck my neck out for you. And I'll stick my neck out for people. Like, I'm loyal. like I'm probably one of the most loyal, genuine, but bluntly honest people you'll ever meet in your life. And I just felt like, all right, well, he just spit in my face, so I'm done. Like this was it. Like, that was the coup de grace, so to speak, the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, all right, man, best of luck. I'm still gonna mess with Raider, because Raider ain't. I mean, me and Raider have had a couple talks. He's had some feelings about me. I've never had feelings about Raider, because again, me and him are a lot alike. Just different places of the country, different shade of skin color. But I feel like me and him are a lot alike. Me and you are a lot alike. And and where there's love, there's hostility. Where there's love, there's hostility. There's always gonna be love. There's always gonna be hostility where there's love. So. Right. I can let bygones be bygones. Like, me and you recently, just started kicking again. You come in my chat. I've been in your stream a little bit, but I'm not on Twitch nowhere near as much as I used to. So I don't really chat in anybody's chat. I really don't.
Yeah.
Just because of the shit I was going through personally. Like, Twitch really, and I don't know if we'll get into that or whatever, but Twitch really twisted my mental health, man.
Yeah,
so much so that it affected my marriage, my family life, my home life. It did a number on me. So I'm trying to consciously keep myself off of Twitch, keep myself off of social media for the most part. Like, I'm nowhere near involved on Twitch or on Twitter like I used to be. And everybody sees that. So obviously a lot of my support is falling off, because I'm not that person no more. I'm not constantly in people's chats, or constantly supporting people, or constantly here, constantly there, constantly answering DMs, doing all this stuff that was taking time away from the people that meant the most to me, and that was my wife and my kids, and it ultimately ruined my marriage. So I'm making a conscious effort not to get into that mindset, so to speak, again, because it really killed me mentally. So shout out to you. I seen, like, you upgraded the stream a little bit. The quality's better, audio, visual. I mean, you're never going to be able to change how ugly you are, but, the video is pretty damn good now. It's no more pixelated. You're doing this podcast. I see the YouTube's popping, so you're doing good for yourself. So, kudos to you for that.
Now, as far as for the view button thing, not going to lie. When I first, some guy, I never even met him, came to the stream one day and was like, hey, you got Twitter? And I was like, yeah, I got Twitter. And he was like, I can, get you some extra views. And I'm like, give me some extra views. How? I'm new to this. I was new to streaming. I'm always got low viewers. I mean, I have actually started getting up to like 20, 25 a little bit, but he said, I can get you more viewers. I just got to shout you out and blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, just do it then. And he was like, what's going to cost? And I'm like, oh, it's going to cost. Like, I mean, I ain't got money like that. What you mean it's going to cost? And he was like, oh, just give me about $20 or whatever for the week. And I'm like, $20 for a week? But what are you going to do? Like, how do I know that this is real? And he was like, oh, I'll show you. So within like an hour of my stream went from 25 to about 150 people. So I'm like, oh, this dude got clout, I never knew that he was view button. So he messaged me and was like, yeah, I can get you that all the time. And I'm like, well, how are you doing this? So he was like, well, don't tell nobody, but it's a thing called ViewBot and blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I ain't really down with that because, I mean, I've heard that, you know, that shit ain't cool. So I was like, no, I'm good. You don't have to do it. And he was like, well, you already paid for the week. And I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you it's cool. Like, just keep the money. Like, I'm not even tripping. Next thing you know, every time I streamed, the shit kept happening. So I hit him up and I'm like, hey, you know, can you fix this? I emailed Twitch. They fucking don't get back to me at all. I messaged them on Twitter. They still didn't get back to me. So it just kept happening. People kept coming to ask. I had Trumpet Monkey asking. A couple people who I really thought was cool with me, you know, was hounding me about it. And I'm like, well, damn, y'all didn't hound the next person that was doing it, but y'all hounded me. So I just couldn't get over it. So at that point, I was just like, fuck it, whatever it is, what it is. When I rated Grizz, I didn't think that the viewbots was going to go over to him. I thought it was just, you know, stuck to my channel. The way I got rid of it, one day I was just like, man, fuck this shit, I'm tired of it. I just kept on clicking go live, go live, go live, go live, and ending it hella fast, and it went away. So I was like, okay, cool, you know, it went away. I never contacted the dude no more. He hit me up like, hey, you know, you want to, you know, get some more, you want to go back to it? I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I said, I didn't want it the first time. And that was the end of that. And I just had to start, you know, basically start over because people was like, you bought, and I had to, it was bad. I just wish I wouldn't even contacted the dude. And then,
then I want to take these few seconds to apologize, then, because I should have hit you up and like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah.
And that's normally what I do. Is like, yo, what the fuck you doing? But me knowing who you are, if it was legit, you would have been like, yo, fuck you, Kev. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Because I knew your whole mentality. Closed mouths don't get fed. Like you're gonna do whatever to make it, right?
Right.
Well, make it, so to speak, or get viewers or whatever. And that's why I never approached you. I was like, all right, well, Cali's gonna Cali, so I'm just gonna let him be.
Right.
So my apologies for not reaching out and not knowing the story, but that's fucked up that somebody would do that. Like, and that's why I don't understand. I mean, people actually have to pay for that shit.
Exactly.
Like, and people don't know. Like, it doesn't help your numbers. Like, if Twitch finds out, they can ban your channel for the most part. They normally do.
And that's why I messaged them, and like, cause I didn't want to get banned. And then at the same time, after now that I have this damn partner thing, I don't know my real numbers. So it's killing me now because I'm like, I mean, I can tell, you know, after every stream I get a message and it's telling me, you know, 25 or, you know, 16 or whatever, but I want to see the progress that it's making when it tells you what you have before the 75, and now I don't get that. So that's what, you know, that's another thing that sucks about it. But the Zan situation, at the time I was upset because I felt like Zan, I know, is a great Madden player. He got matched up against D Grizzle, who in my eyes sucks at Madden.
Still, shout out D Grizzle. He's not even that bad, to be honest. Zan's just that good. D Grizzle's not that bad.
It was a blowout, and I'm like, why is this guy just like demolishing him? And then he goes on to win, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna give my money to charity. And I'm like, well, damn, somebody who needed that money could have won. And then when I posted that, you know, I got my money from Twitch, you know, Baked Beans and a couple other people, I believe Meta too, they were like, you know, you shouldn't post that and blah blah. And I'm like, well, why? You know, I'm excited I got Twitch money, and I feel like I should be able to do what I want with my money. But I got slack for it, and I felt like when he posted it, giving it to charity, it was like, oh, let's praise Zan for giving this money to charity. So that's what kind of, you know, just made me even go in more. And then I talked to Zan about the situation, and we were cool. But then we see a couple months go by, maybe it's probably 6-7 months go by, and he tried to bring it up again, and I'm like, okay, bro, relax. We talked about this. Now you want to try and throw it back out there like we never talked about it? And he kind of like, I think it was him. He went on, what is the EA? What is the, I don't know, the damn EA thing. Yeah, but they retweeted my Decroft post about him air trucking, and I don't think he expected to blow up as much as it did. So he just like kind of fell back and left it alone after that. And that was just the end of that situation. I mean, I have no problem with Zan now. I mean, if he's still upset, he is. I mean, when I went in this chat and gave bits and subs, he thanked me. So I mean, it could have just been like, thank you for the sub and still fuck you, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, after that, we pretty much moved on from it. Like I said, I have no problem with Zan. I still don't like D Croft. Yeah, and that's about it for that.
I mean, people, it's pretty community known who I have a problem with, but I don't. If I don't like you, I just stay away from you. That's how I roll. You know, I won't go out of my. I don't do the whole. I'm too grown for the whole trolling shit. I don't even like the word troll. Like, that's such a juvenile word. But
Right.
you know, I'm not a juvenile. I'm about to be 40 years old in July, and you know, I don't act 40, but I don't act 15 either. So, you know, I'm somewhere in between. But you know, if I don't mess with you, I just don't mess with you. I stay away from you. You know, I'm mute you on Twitter. I don't even do the whole unfollow thing or the block thing unless you really, really deserve it, because then you give the person ammunition to screenshot and be like, oh, look, this bitch blocked me. Like, no, I'm not a bitch. I just don't want to deal with you. Like, you're just beneath me. I don't. If I block you on Twitter, there's a significant reason why, and that's not indicative to the person I am. That's more indicative to the person you are. If I gotta block you, because I can put up with a lot, but if I block you, you know, that's more on you than it is me. I'm not a bitch. You're just a worthless piece of shit, and I want absolutely nothing to do with you. But you know, I don't even know what happened with me and Zan, because me and Zan used to be real close, and then I don't know, the dynamics changed or whatever. I don't know. Like, we both just changed as people, and we just went our separate ways. And I don't really, you know, I don't hate the guy. I don't even dislike the guy. I just, you know, it's one of those things. If you know, if the relationship or the friendship isn't constructive, then, you know, just go your separate ways and leave it at that. Be grown about it. And it's been the same way. So, you know, I'm sure he feels the same way about me. He's probably think that I've grown in a different way, and we just don't mess with each other no more. So.
Okay, now
But I still think, like, I don't harbor any ill feelings towards you. I just feel like, you know, like I was trying to help you out, and I was like, damn. Fuck me, because, you know, that was my pick. You were my pick to put in the tournament.
yeah.
Because I handpicked everybody.
I feel you. I feel it. How do you feel about Madden Live?
What was that?
I say, how do you feel about Madden Live?
As individuals, a lot of them are solid people. You know, a lot of them are genuine people. You know, this is coming from somebody that did a EA spot for EA back right before. Well, I actually did it after I got partnered. I got partnered maybe 3 or 4 days before I did a Thursday Night Madden. Back then it was Thursday Night Madden. I think it was like 3.5 years ago, man. Because I just hit. I think November was my 3 years partnered. I think November, something like that. And I had got partnered a few days before I even got that spot. And so shout out to all you people who think that EA got me partnered, which is bullshit, because I got me partnered. Nobody got me partnered but me and the people that rocked with me for however long they needed to give me the numbers. And back then there was no path to partnership. You didn't know what the hell the numbers were. You just had to stream and have fun and do your thing and hope to God. Like, I got denied for partnership because we didn't know the numbers back then. So every time I was able to apply, I just kept applying.
Yeah.
I got denied like 9 times. And now today you get people crying, you know, oh, I got it after like their 2nd time or 3rd time being denied. I'm like, bro, I got denied 9 times and didn't even know what the numbers were supposed to be. You got a cheat sheet. You know what the hell you got to do. And even then, like, now I don't even think that's like it's a benchmark, basically. I think Twitch did that just to give people something to shoot for, so that they didn't stop streaming. They're like, oh, I'm this close or I'm that close. Like, it gave them something visually to look at, so that they kept streaming and kept making Twitch money. Because that's ultimately what the affiliate program became about, or why the affiliate program came about, was because Twitch is like, oh, I got people that are streaming. We got X amount of people streaming. We can make more money if we give these small communities the ability to support these small streamers. So That's basic, and it's cool. Like it's cool. Like I wasn't. You know, I never shitted on the affiliate program. I was an affiliate for a couple months before I was a partner, like 3 months maybe. So I was on the affiliate program for a little while. But as far as, I'll get back on topic, but as far as Madden Live goes, man, like, I think everybody should be awarded the opportunity to have eyes on them. I really do. You know, and I think people, and to me, it's not being fake. Like I have different, not different personalities, but I know how to act where I'm at. Like, I can adapt to any situation. From where I grew up to where I went to school, then the Marine Corps, how I was raised, you know, I'm able, like, how I am at certain situations, that's me. How I am in other certain situations, that's me too. It's just I'm able to adapt to any situation. Like, I can put on a suit and tie and act proper. Or I can get like this and get passionate, and you can hear the hood in me come out, because that's where I grew up. I grew up in the hood. That's where I grew up. We didn't leave out of the city until I was in 8th grade. So by 8th grade, you already know who you are.
Yeah.
And then, you know, certain situations and the Marine Corps and stuff like that, like, eventually, you know, I just adapted to every situation. And that's how I consider myself a chameleon when it comes to different situations. I'm not fake. I'm just able to adapt to certain situations. And but I think there's a lot of people in Madden Live, like, you have to be a certain something for EA to approve it now.
Yeah.
Now, back then I wasn't EA material back then either. So, but I guess they just saw my grind. They saw my grind. They saw how often I was streaming the game, how passionate I was for the game. I think Zan put in a word for me. So I got it, and back then it was only an hour stint. Like, it was only an hour spot. And
Yeah.
truth be told, and honest to God, I didn't use one cuss word in that 1 hour.
I believe it.
That I did retain a lot from that, though. I did retain a lot from that spot. I think that whole year, the Thursday night spot, my stream was the stream that had the most viewers in it throughout that whole year, because we did it every Thursday that there was a Thursday night game. And my stream had the most viewers that entire year. And, you know, I still didn't, you know, there still was no big names. Like, people didn't mess with me until I made a name for myself. Nobody hosted me. Nobody rated me. Nobody did any of that stuff. You know, when I was, bro, it was over a year before I made 1 red cent streaming. Like, I was surprised I didn't get divorced then. Because I had went out of work with a work injury and started streaming, you know, playing Madden again, and found out about Twitch. I was like, I'm going to give this streaming stuff a try right before our son was born. And it just took off from there. But it was a year, or maybe even a little over a year, before I made a dime off streaming. So, you know, it was tough. And with the whole Madden Live thing, again, we'll get back to the Madden Live thing. If Digital Champion can get a spot on Madden Live with some of the shit I've heard him say to people when not hosting Madden Live, there's no reason in hell. Because I've heard him say worse shit than I've ever said to anybody. And I'm being dead honest. And maybe it's because I'm not a good old boy and I don't have that Alabama accent. You know, or maybe it's just the way I don't know. But a Digital Champion can get a spot on Madden Live. Anybody in this damn community can get a spot on Madden Live. Because if you tell somebody, hey, look, if Gabby and I think Hope helps run it now. Hope wasn't doing it back then. It was just Gabby. So Gabby still does it. Like, she goes through the vetting process now. And I think it's not even, like, a lot of these people have relationships with EA, you know, like Zan, Boogs, I'll be honest with you, there's some people I don't even know how they get it. Winco doesn't even stream Madden. The only time he streams Madden is when he gets Madden Live. Like, I love Winco. Winco's a cool little dude. You know, he's a funny little dude. He's good at Madden. I don't know how the hell he gets it. Stiff, cool dude. Again, I don't know how he gets it, because the only time he streams Madden is when he does Madden Live. Like, there's people out here like me, like you, like Raider, like Pony. I'm gonna even say Gutfox. I'm gonna say, there's so many names, man, and there's so many names that escape me that deserve a shot to have 6,000 people on 6,000 eyes. And do the math or whatever, how many eyes that is. I don't know if everybody has 2 eyes. Maybe some only have 1 eye. But everybody that has streamed this game for an X amount of years and have put in the time, everybody deserves to have a shot at Madden Live. Right. So that you give those viewers an option to say, okay, look, they might have to curtail it a bit. They might have to dial it back a little bit. They might not be able to cuss. They might not be able to play, rap music, or they might not be able to do certain things. But give them a 2-hour spot to let the Madden Live viewers a chance to decide for themselves whether they want to come back or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think everybody deserves an opportunity to host Madden Live. That's where I'm at with it. Do I care now? No, I don't care now, because it doesn't matter to me, because I'm not on Twitch and streaming like that. I'm lucky if I stream 20 hours a week now that I got a real job. But and I got stuff going on in my own life. But I'm dead honest, man. I think everybody in the community that streams Madden for a decent amount of time deserves Madden Live. And that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, now, as far as you and OG Network, what's happened between? Are you still with OG Network? Or are you not in OG Network?
I got back with OG Network, and this is where it's gonna get hot. I got back with OG Network, and he came back to me when I was going through my the early onset of me and my wife's separation, and he came back, and he apologized, and it wasn't even really about J-Dub. It was about Digital Champion. I just didn't like the way he would talk to me. I didn't, and that was part of the reason. And there was a lot of stuff said behind the scenes that wasn't said out in the open. And I don't like two-faced people. I was seeing a lot of stuff being said about people that were my friends that I knew a long time. And then in the same day or a couple of days after, I'm seeing these nice tweets and these nice interactions with the same people that they were talking shit about.
Right.
I'm like, nah, I don't do that. And then my suspension came. My suspension from Twitch came. I got 30 days for going off on a racist live on stream. I lost my mind. I admit, going back to it, I lost my mind. Hindsight's 2020, right? And I reacted in a way I shouldn't have reacted. And I got my 30-day suspension. And these dudes are supposed to have my back. And every time it was brought up, or in their chats or whatever, like, they didn't say nothing. They didn't have my back. And I'm like, all right, we're supposed to be friends. And again, I'm loyal. If I know you're right, and and it could be the slightest thing. If I slightly know you're wrong, I'm still gonna go to bat for you because you're my boy.
Right.
Like I'm telling you, man, loyalty, death before dishonor. I'm a Marine. Death before dishonor. I will never dishonor a friend. I will never be disloyal to a friend. If any one of them were in a situation, I would have rode for him. Just like I rode for, Jay when he got caught, buying coins or selling coins or whatever. I rode for Jay.
Mm-hmm. I remember
Just
that.
like I rode for Zan when he got labeled a racist for using a Hulk Hogan meme. Or, the list goes on and on. If I'm your boy, I'm going to ride for you. If you fuck up, whether you fuck up or not, I'm your boy. I'm going to ride for you.
Right. And
I didn't feel like any of them had my back because none of them said nothing. And that was the beginning of the end, really. I was like, all right, none of these guys really have my back. They don't want to say nothing. They're worried about, and I see it a lot in the community with me. Like, people are afraid to openly mess with me because I'm polarizing, because I say what I want, I do what I want, and I really don't care about the repercussions. I really don't care about how people feel about it. And my thing is if you're not fucking me, feeding me, or financing me, I give a shit else how you feel about me. My wife, it was my wife, but I got a girlfriend now. But my kids, or my really, really, really close friends, those are the people who I care how they feel about me. Everybody else, whatever, But DC said something to me about profits or something for OG Network, and he was like, "Oh, if we make money." Oh, we started the stream team. And I've never been I've never been a proponent to stream team. Like, I don't want to be responsible for other people's success. If I'm told I have to raid them, or I'm told I have to do this for them, I'm told I have to, like, no, I'm gonna host you, I'm gonna raid you, I'm gonna help get eyes on you if I think you're worth a damn. Don't, and I wasn't down with the whole stream team thing. I was like, all right, well, let's just bring them on, but let's just, let them do their own thing. Let's not really be responsible for their success. And the words that were used to me were, okay, well, if we make money off them, you ain't getting a cut. And I'm like, excuse me.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and I've come to figure, like, DC's a very generous human being. I got this microphone because of him, by the way. Shout out to Digital Champion for this $400 microphone. You know, he hooked me up with that. He gave me a Jimmy Rollins signed baseball out of nowhere for no reason. But the more and more, my opinion, and I could be wrong, I could be right, but I've been around long enough to know I'm going to be 40 years old. I'm a good judge of character. You know, he does all these giveaways and does all this, does all that. You know, what a cool. You're able to do that. He owns his own business. He lives in a nice cushy little house in Alabama. You know, they go and do the cushy little tailgating for Auburn and all this other shit. Like, cool, bro. You got a great life. And in my eyes, him being a businessman, everything he does is a calculated business move in my eyes. And that's all it is. Like, he may be generous, but I think he's more of a businessman than he is a generous man.
Right.
And that's just how I look at it. I don't come from money. I don't have money. I will do whatever it is I can for somebody, but I'll never make it about boosting me. Like, I will never boast in public about what I've done for people. If I do share some stuff, there's no names attached to it. You know, because I just want to give my experiences as a streamer and as an influencer in this community, not just with Madden, but on social media and shit that I've done for people personally. Because there's a long list of stuff that I've done for people that I guarantee you nobody else has done for people in this community. I guarantee it. And I take that seriously, because when I started streaming, it wasn't about the money. It only recently became about the money because I'm the only income in my house now, and I got to keep a roof over my head and food in my stomach and help support my son, and then my son from my previous marriage. So, and even still, I'm not out here begging for subs or putting up this, putting up that. You know, I always tell people, if you feel I deserve it, if it's on your heart, you go ahead and give it to me. I'm not going to ask for nothing, but you know you're able to. So if you want to, go ahead. Yeah. And I've been blessed with a lot of support over 5 years. There's a lengthy list that have supported me too, and I will forever be grateful. I'm forever indebted. If I could ever blow up, so to speak, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm gonna keep doing what I need to, because I enjoy playing Madden. I enjoy interacting with people. But if I blow up, best believe I'm gonna give back tenfold what I received without ever asking for anything in return. Whether it be clout, retweets, or raids, or hosts, or any of that. But I recently rejoined OG Network because Jay came to me and he's like, hey, you know, look, the problems you had, they're no longer here. Do you want to come back? And I said, look, I can't commit to anything. I was like, I'll join back up. You know, I can't commit to anything though, because, you know, I'm not streaming like I was. So I was like, yeah, you know, I like the people you got in there. You know, and we'll see what happens. Like, I'm just a part of it. Like, I talk to them every now and then, but again, like, I'm just not on Twitch and in Discord and like I was. I'm nowhere near. So, you know, yeah, I'm a part of OG Network. I like what those guys are doing. I like what Jay is doing. He's really out there hustling, trying to get the OG Network brand out there and bringing on, you know, a lot of things that isn't being seen in the Madden community right now. So shout outs to him and Duffy and you know, I don't know what else is going on behind the scenes, because I'm just not in it like that anymore. But, you know, I don't, again, it's tied to my stream. It says I'm in the OG Network, but I'm not really, you know, in there, you know, mucking and jiving with them like I was. So, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it with that. And I don't mess with DC anymore, or Digital Champion anymore. And again, like, I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even know why I messed with him in the first place. Like, I just don't get along with good old boy. I just don't get along with country folk. And I live in North Carolina, and trust me, people in North Carolina don't like me much neither. Because I'm not from here. I'm a damn Yankee. That's what the fuck they call me. I'm a damn Yankee, because I ain't from here. But, and I don't know, and I guess somebody came and said something to me one day. It's like, yo, Keps, somebody's in DC's chat trolling with names of you and him, and I'm like, look, bro, I get the same shit. So I reached out to him on Twitter, because I unfollowed most of them, off Twitter after I left, and because I felt slighted when they didn't defend me, um, with the whole Twitch suspension thing. And I still had DMs with him, so I hit him up in DMs. I was like, look, DC, I'm going through a lot of shit right now. You know, that ain't me trolling you, blase, blase. And he blocked me on Twitter. I was like, all right, well, fuck you.
Wow.
You want to do all that? I was like, I ain't messed with you since. I ain't said nothing bad about you. Because again, I'm not going to make it a big scene. Like, that all went down in our Discord, in the OG Network Discord. The founding fathers of OG Network in our Discord, our private Discord. And I just left. I just left it at that. I didn't say nothing. I didn't tweet nothing. I didn't, none of that. So for me to reach out to him and be like, yo, DC, it's not me. I get the same shit. You know, I just want to let you know it ain't me, whatever I can do. And he blocked me on Twitter. And I was like, all right, whatever, fuck you. I'm coming to you like a man. You know, we can squash whatever. You know, this would probably lead to us squashing whatever or have a talk like grown men. And he blocked me. So whatever.
That's pretty shitty.
Again, thank you for the microphone and the Jimmy Rollins signed baseball. Appreciate it.
Now, I wouldn't say it's really hot as far as this question because it's kind of been resolved, but I did want your take on the whole ScoMo situation because he did hit me up and he apologized and said he was wrong for what he said, and you know, and of course, I mean, from the beginning, I mean, like I told my cousin, I went on when I saw it, I instantly put my name because ScoMo is one of the people who, you know, got me started with the cards and everything. But after I looked into it, I'm like, wait, this seems a little wrong. But, you know, we talked about it, apologized, said it was wrong, and it was wrong just the way he worded it. It wasn't even wrong for the intent of what he wanted to do because his intentions were good. It was just the way that he worded it I felt was wrong. But I also wanted to know, you know, because of course we were going to do this before you got sick, and I wanted to know what did you know, how you felt about the situation of, you know, how it all went down.
Just because I'm not on Twitter or Twitch much, I still know it. I'm still abreast of the situations that go on because I still refresh Twitter a lot, and I still do a lot of things. But I saw the tweet when it initially went out, like maybe a few minutes after it initially went out. I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, I understand what his intentions were, but a helping hand in public is only helping yourself. That's how I feel about it. That's why a lot of it's hard to decipher because as a content creator you want to market yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain things I don't think you should market yourself. Like, you shouldn't use it as market. Like, there's still morals and ethics to follow. And I know he's a white Jewish guy. Like, I know he understands, you know, bigotry and hatred and racism because he's a Jewish guy. So I understand where he's coming from with that. But I just think it was a little distasteful. You know, the whole, I think, because it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rate, like, and Raider said it best. Like, you know, when he came in the streaming game, he didn't have to fill out an application and he didn't have to check a box that he was black.
Right.
He didn't have to check a box that I didn't have to check a box that I was white, non-Hispanic. You know, like you're filling out a job application. It was just somewhere you could go and have, you know, the same likings as everybody else. Madden, video games, streaming, you know, making friends, whatever. And I know ScoMo. I know ScoMo pretty decently. Hell, me and his relationship started off with going at one another in a weekend league game, and I beat him, and I made a couple short jokes, and the short jokes got back to him, or the joke of him that he was Toke Nasty's carry-on luggage or something like that. I don't know. I get pretty creative. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it got back to him, and then he went in on me on some Twitter video and whatever. And we ended up being cool. Like, we ended up having a discussion. We ended up being cool. And, you know, we subbed to one another. We hang out in each other's chats every now and then. And so ScoMo's not racist.
Of course not.
I think it was taken out of context a little bit, but the way he rebutted it, you know, when a black man tells you how he feels on a black subject, as a white man, you can't tell a black man how to feel. And I think that's what he was doing. He was trying to tell a black man how to feel. And not now, not ever in my book. I don't care the climate. I don't, you know, you can go back to the Rodney King stuff. You can go back to, you know, what's going on now with George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and the list goes on and on and on with police brutality and systemic racism and all this other stuff. So I will never, ever tell a black man how to feel about a black man's plight or a black man's situation. That's not my place. It's not any white man's place. And I grew up in the hood. I still won't tell a black man how to feel about a black man's situation.
Right.
Because even though I grew up in the hood, if I would have told a black man, I probably still would have got the taste slapped out of my mouth. And so I think he just, and ScoMo used to be very, very, very outspoken, just like me. And he's changed a new leaf because he realizes the more he gets along with people, the more marketable he is, the more money he can make. So it came off a little distasteful. He worded it the wrong way, and then his rebuttals were worded the wrong way. He kind of slipped back into that old ScoMo. Like he was just like, nah, fuck you, I don't care what you think.
Mm-hmm.
But then he sat back, and I don't think this was a business thing. I don't think this was like he really sat back and he was like, oh, I fucked up. I said, you know, and it takes a man, and a man of his stature, you know, with the amount of followers he has and the amount of clout he has, so to speak, and the amount of notoriety he has to come out and apologize. Now, I don't know if he has publicly on Twitter, but I know he came in Raider stream and apologized. He's apologized to you, and I'm sure there's other people he's apologized to. Apology doesn't mean you're wrong, right? An apology just means you're smart enough to realize you fucked up and you hurt some people's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a man to apologize.
Right.
And it takes a man to know that you're wrong. And I'm not necessarily saying he was wrong, because he wasn't really wrong. He was just wrong in the way it was worded and the way it was approached afterward.
Right.
The whole thing wasn't wrong. There was just some portions of it that were wrong. But I didn't say anything on the tweet just because I know how ScoMo minions ride.
That's
and
exactly
I ain't got
what I
time
did.
to be checking my notifications every 0.8 seconds because a ScoMo minion and a fanboy. And that's why, and that's cool. If you look up the YouTubers and whatever, like, cool, bro. And that's why a lot of times now I'll reach out privately if I got something to say. And I've changed that about me. Like, I used to do it publicly because I didn't care, because I had the time. I ain't got the time no more. So I'll do it publicly. If I got a beef, I'll do it privately. Or if I got a suggestion, or if I have to bring you in a little bit, to reel you in a little bit, you know, if I feel like you're just out there, you're, you know, forgetting where you came from, you're a little boastful, trust me, and there's plenty of them out there that I've reached out to privately, like, yo, just, you know, watch yourself, you know, I'll do it privately now, and that's why I didn't do it publicly, or go to his tweet. And I didn't say anything to him privately either, because I saw how it was going down. I was like, oh shit. And then I saw Raider chime in. I was like, oh shit. and then I saw Win All Day, and then I saw everybody, you know, in the that's black or of African American descent in the Madden community start coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand Raiders displeasure with some of the Black Madden Live people not saying anything, but then they eventually reached out to Raider privately. And again, it's not that you're being fake. You just know there's a bigger task at hand. Like, you're trying to put food on the table. You're trying to make a living. And sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut if you want to make a living. Just like people at EA. There's people at EA that love this community and they want what's best for us, but they don't say nothing. They don't ride for us because they know they'll lose their job. You know, look at Rex. Rode for us, was out of a job. Mutt Guru rode for us, rode for the community. He's out of a job. And people that aren't loyal to that logo, to that trademark, to that EA trademark. If you're not loyal, see ya.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought Krayla was next.
One Madden Live streamer speaks out in a way that some of them probably want to, about the game, about the corporation, about whatever. Social, whatever. EA catch wind of it, there There you go. See ya. You won't have Madden Live again. You won't never see 5,000-6,000 people in your chat ever again. And that's just how it is, man. You wanna make a living. You wanna put some food on the table. You wanna pay some bills doing what you love. You have to toe the line. And I think a lot of them, realize what they could do is if they keep Madden Live, and a lot of them are doing it. So
All right.
kudos to them.
Well, we're going to put that situation to rest. ScoMo, I do want you to know I accept your apology. I do think it was sincere, and you already know we still going to be boys. Just in the future, kind of word it a little better. Now, this is where it gets hot, because this is something that people wanted to know. Everybody wants to know. I want to know because I wasn't in the chats, in the streams, of course. But when I've been in the chat, I've been seeing a lot of people ask the question. People are getting banned for asking a question. People are being told to let it go. So we all know, for the most part, besides Madden pissing you off or baseball pissing you off, you're a pretty chill, pretty happy guy. Lately, things have changed between you and CC, and we want to know what happened.
I alluded to it earlier. I let Twitch and social media and the influence of social media, my influence of social media, completely mess with my mental health. And it wasn't to the point where like anything was scary, but during the day, my wife would wake up. She'd be gone by 7 o'clock in the morning. She'd go to work. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Whether that was with her 2 kids while they were home, because we switched off and on weeks with her ex-husband. So every other week I had 3 kids in the house. And then every other weekend I had 4 from my previous marriage. So we'd have 4 kids. And then, with the whole COVID thing, every other week there was 4 kids in this house. So I was a stay-at-home dad for the majority of the day. And then, come in the afternoon, I'd get on and stream, because that was my way of making money. And there were some months where I made considerable amount of money more than her.
Yeah.
So I let that influence me and let that consume me. Like I saw it, I wanted more, and I wanted more, and I wanted more. So when I would come up here and stream, like I would do my daddy things, my house husband things. The house would be taken care of, the kids would be fed, everything would be done. And when she'd come home from work, I'd be streaming, and when she'd come home, she'd be the one to have to cook and clean and take care of the kids and do wife things and do mom thing. And not knowing it was taking a toll on her too. And this, when COVID hit, it was huge. And I didn't know. Like, we never had a conversation about it. There were some things that I didn't like that were going on, like her constantly working and us not doing husband and wife things because our son was constantly in the bed. That bothered me, so I didn't say nothing. And it ate at me, it ate at her. We didn't communicate. And so I just sank into the stream. I'd be up to 3, 4 in the morning watching Dubby, watching whoever was on. Hell, some nights I didn't even go to bed at all. She'd wake up to go to work and I'd still be sitting up here. And it just got to the point where she'd come home from work and I let her do everything. But she never said anything. She never said it bothered her. And I never knew it bothered her. I didn't recognize it because I was so fucked up in the head that I didn't recognize anything.
Right.
I didn't recognize not a thing that was going on with her. So in her eyes, it's, oh, he don't love me, he don't want me, you don't, whatever. And so by the end of the day, by the end of the night, I had nothing left emotionally or mentally or emotionally to give to the people who meant the most to me, and that was ultimately my wife and my kids. Like, I stopped going everywhere. I stopped even going grocery shopping. Like, me and her were inseparable. We were inseparable. And same with my kids. Like, I did everything with my kids, and I was always outside playing with them or going here, going there, taking them here, taking them there. And I didn't recognize it. My mind was so messed up because of everything I was having. And people don't understand this, man. I'm not talking like, I can't even imagine how big streamers and big YouTubers deal with the amount of DMs or questions or people wanting to talk to them, because I'm talking dozens of people a day wanted my advice on streaming, wanted my advice on finances, joining the military, freaking you name it, bro. And at the drop of a hat, and you can ask anybody up until a few months ago, up until 4 months ago, if you hit me up in a DM, if you hit me up in a Discord, if you hit me up in a text message, phone call, an email, whatever, if there was any way to get a hold of me, I was responding to you within minutes.
Sometimes he ain't lying, y'all. He ain't lying, because when I called him for Christmas, Black Friday, I called you to see what what TVs were good. You answered the phone, and actually no, well, she answered the phone, but she contacted you, and you contacted me within 5-10 minutes. So you're not lying.
So it took a toll on me, and she got sick of it. And and I'll be dead honest with you. Like, I'm very transparent, I'm very open, very honest about the situation, because I don't want to see anybody else go through this. We weren't being husband and wife, whatever. Don't let your kids sleep in the bed. Our son's 4, and I think he was sleeping in our bed since he was like 2 months old. So, we were doing what husband and wife should have been doing, but not as much as we should have been doing, or both of us would have liked to have been doing, because we're both, sexual beings. But, so I started, turning to what a man would turn to, right? And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was hers. She found that I had been watching some porn on the computer, and she was just like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I've had enough. And at first it was, I'm going to stay with my dad for a little while. And then slowly it became, all right, well, I guess this ain't going to work. The damage has been done. Like, I guess she said she had been feeling like it for a couple years. And she's right. Now that I have a clear mind and a clear head, and I can vividly see what transpired over the last couple years since we moved to the house we had before this one. Mm-hmm. I can see it. I spent a lot of my time streaming, a lot of my time answering people's questions, a lot of time watching other people stream, not spending enough quality time with my wife and my children. And heed my warning that if you are a content creator, you are a streamer, the stream, I don't care how much they tell you they love you. I don't care how much the Madden community supports you. I don't care how much the Madden community says they love you. They don't love you more than your wife and your kids. And if you want your wife and your kids to be there, take my advice and consciously don't let it affect you. Don't let it consume you. I don't care what it does for your ego. And it did a little something for my ego as well, because it was like a rush that people needed me so much. Mm-hmm. And the more people that needed me, it just spiraled out of control, and it messed with my mental health. I didn't realize what I was doing, and it ultimately cost me my marriage. And here I am, having to have a real job for the first time in 6 years. Damn. Working during the day, 11 in the morning till 8 at night, Tuesday through Saturday, and then streaming a few hours afterwards till like midnight, and then streaming a few hours on Sundays and Mondays, and having to find a new place to live that I can afford, because this house is a two income household, and now it's only me. Like, she left and left me with everything, the dogs, the bills, everything. So, and I don't blame her. When I look back on it, I don't blame her. I've always defended. I mean, obviously I'm hurt because I love the woman, but I understand why she left. She couldn't take it no more. She couldn't, and no woman should have to go through that. And I've always defended her. I don't let nobody talk shit about her. I don't let nobody say anything bad about her. I don't, because I understand it now that I have a clear mind and a clear conscience, and can vividly see the things that I had done or wasn't doing. Like, I'm not a bad person at all. I never raised my voice to my wife or my kids. Very rarely would I get angry. Even in the state of mind that I was, like, I'm not. A lot of people look at me like he looks like he beats his wife. I've never raised a hand to a woman in my entire life. I grew up in an abusive household, so let's throw that the fuck out the window right now, because a lot of people, Kep beat his wife, or he was an angry whatever. Yeah. never verbally abused her, never mentally, never physically, not her nor my kids. I just wasn't there the way a husband and a father should have been. I wasn't a bad husband, I wasn't a bad father. I just could have been a whole lot fucking better. And I will never, for the rest of my entire life, let myself get to that point ever again. Ever again. Because it cost me what meant the most to me, and that was my wife and my son and my stepchildren, who I don't see after being in their life every day for 6 years. And now I see our son together, who's 4. You know, now he's in daycare, and I see him every other weekend and every Monday. That's it. And it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. 'Cause I love it sucks. It still hurts. Damn near 5 months later, and it still fucking hurts me to the core to realize that I fucked up so bad and didn't realize it. But you know, I'll be 40 years old in July, and I'm still learning the hard way. So I'm done learning. Like, this was end game for me. This was end game for me. Like, I'm not gonna be perfect, but I'm gonna be damn near. You know, I got a woman in my life now who has been through the same shit on both ends of the spectrum. She's been, you know, the reason for a failed relationship and been I've been on the receiving end of a failed relationship. So, and me too. I've been on the receiving end of it and been the one that was hurt. So, you know, who knows what the future holds for me? I just know that when it comes to that, when it comes to taking care of what you're supposed to and loving the people that love you the most, I'll never let Twitch, Twitter, the outside, the influences of the outside world destroy what's most important.
So, for the record, she didn't cheat.
No, she didn't cheat.
Okay.
No.
Because that's what a lot of people were trying to say, and I'm like, well, I don't think that happened, but I mean, only he knows. So you guys heard it here first. She didn't cheat.
If it was, it was probably more emotional because she didn't have time to physically do nothing.
Right.
So if it was emotional, and you know, whatever. I mean, it wasn't a physical thing. I definitely would have. We've talked, and it definitely wasn't physical. So.
Okay. Now
But
of course,
I use this as a lesson, or as a warning, you know, to all you streamers and all you content creators out there that have wives, and trust me, after this happened, I've had husbands reach out to me, I've had girlfriends reach out to me, I've had wives reach out to me and say, Kep, what you're going through and what you're telling people has saved my marriage, so thank you. I've had wives tell me thank you, because what I was going through woke their husbands up, or woke their boyfriends up, or woke their fiancés up. So if that's how I'm supposed to help people now, then so be it.
Shit might wake me up. I did watch, of course, you know, I watched Jovan, Your Mama clips, you know, and I saw a clip with you at a Christmas party or a Christmas event with Cece, and a heavyset black woman walked in and you called her Lizzo, of course. And of course, I mean, I know that it wasn't intended to be a racist thing or anything. It was supposed to be a joke. But for the ones who are trying to say, oh, he was being racist or what, you know, what happened, if you can remember, with that situation?
That was the girl's nickname.
Okay, see?
That girl worked with my wife. That was one of my wife's co-workers as her nickname that she gave herself.
Okay.
And I didn't know that because she was new. She was a new girl. She had only been working with my wife for like 3 weeks or a month or something like that. And that was the nickname the office gave to her, that she gave herself one day at work. I don't know the story, but I don't entertain the racist shit, because those who think I'm racist don't fucking know me.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know me at all. Okay? From the time I was in kindergarten to the time I was in 8th grade, we were the only white family for 3 blocks. I grew up in the heart of the hood in Reading, Pennsylvania. All I grew up around was black, Haitians, Puerto Rican, Dominicans, That's all I grew up around. I don't even entertain that shit. I don't entertain it. Anybody that thinks I'm racist, like, just lay off the drugs. Lay off the drugs. If you think I don't want you to get to know me. I don't want to get to know you. You think and I understand it. Like, I understand all you see online is a chubby white dude, a chubby 30-some, whatever. When I started this, I was what, 34, 35, something like that, whatever. You see a white dude rapping lyrics and saying the N-word and doing all this, doing that, and automatically, because he's white, he's racist. There's not a racist fucking bone in my body. You know who I hate? Assholes. I don't care if you're white, Puerto Rican, black, white, purple, green, brown. I don't care. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
All right.
And that's all. I think the song of Forever is the bigger picture. When he says, I don't judge by, I forget the line, but it's escaped me right now. I judge by hearts and minds, not the color of the skin or anything like that. I don't care. But because I make a joke, like this motherfucker, like, he is, like, bro. Jovan Lakey, yo mama, whatever the fuck you call yourself, you should really call yourself a piece of shit, because that's exactly what the fuck you are. And I used to find this shit funny. Until he made a video one day of, he used my channel because he's a fucking coward. But he comes in under all these other names trying to bait people into shit because he's a bitch. He don't even come in on his own name trying to talk to people. He'll come in on other names trying to bait you into shit, just like he baited me into the Xerxes shit because he's a bitch. Because all he is a wannabe fucking paparazzi TMZ analyst. Like, that's all he is. Like, he tries to create shit because without other people, he don't have content. He can't just fire up the game and play Madden and be funny. He needs other people to have content. So that's why he does what he does. But I used to find this shit funny until he started attacking people, until he started using other people for his content. And then somebody said, yo, Kep, your mama's at it again with you. And I was like, what the fuck I do now? And it was him making a video saying I was trying to get views by using my then 3-year-old. And I'm a family-oriented man. I have my dogs on stream. I have my kids on stream. 3-year-old, he's now 4. He'll be 5 in April. He jump up on my lap, and I just play games with him. I'm just being a dad. I'm a stay-at-home dad. He comes up here. He wants to sit with daddy. I'm going to let him sit with daddy. He wants to play what I'm playing. I'm going to let him play what I'm playing. And just so happened I was playing Call of Duty one day. So I let him run around playing zombies. And he was more ecstatic and more excited about the shadow of the gun than the actual gun, and was shooting a trash can and doing all this other shit. And this sorry sack of fuck decides to make a video and say, oh, look at this future school shooter. Like, why is Kep letting this 3-year-old play Call of Duty, little future school shooter? And then he started saying shit about my wife, like, what kind of woman is she to let her husband let their 3-year-old play Call of Duty, future school shooter? Like, I don't know how many times he mentioned it. And that did it for me. Like, I seriously, like, there's no apology. There's no nothing. When it comes to video games and Madden and stuff like that, keep it Madden. You can say whatever the fuck you want to about me. Don't say shit about my kids. Don't say shit about my wife. And don't let the framework fool you. Don't let the age fool you. Don't let these blue eyes fool you. Don't let this luscious smile fool you. If we ever meet in person, we are squaring up. And your debt will be paid for calling my 3-year-old a future school shooter. And I don't even care. Like, I didn't even give him any, like, when I found out he made a video about my situation with our separation and all this other shit, I didn't even give it a view. I didn't even give it a second thought. Because it don't matter.
All right.
But when, and then I called him out on that, and he backpedaled like a motherfucker. Oh, that's not what I was doing. I was just trying to bait his community and da-da-da-da. Like, yeah, you were being a bitch. You were being a fucking troll. You're a grown-ass man with a wife of your own, with 2 young daughters of your own. Grow the fuck up. Be a man, be a husband, be a daddy, and quit this bitch shit you do on the fucking internet. Because you think one day you're going to be somebody. You ain't, homeboy. You've been doing it for 20 years. You still ain't somebody. So you got a cool whatever you got on YouTube. Don't quit your day job, bitch. You ain't a comedian. You ain't a content creator. You ain't shit but a bitch. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my kid's name out your mouth. And even keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Because I ain't never said shit about your wife. I ain't never said shit about your daughters. Other than the fact that I wonder if they know what their daddy is when they ain't looking, which is a bitch.
Well, there it is. Yeah. Oh shit. Next question. As far as your new girlfriend, how does she like the streaming? Does she like you streaming or?
She loves it right now because again, it's not, it's not consuming me. I make time for, you know, um, she didn't even really know about this type of shit until we started talking, and she wanted to know what I did for a living. And at the time, all I did was stream. Like that was how I made money.
Yeah.
And I was a little put off by it. I was like, shit. I mean, I gotta tell her, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I stream Madden on Twitch for a living. That's how. She's like, what? And like a few hours later, she made a Twitch account. She was in the Twitch chat, cutting it up with everybody. She's made a few appearances on stream with me. She's a professionally classically trained singer, so she can sing her face off, and she's easy on the eyes. So you get a pretty girl singing on Twitch. She's made me a couple $100 in the few times she sat on my stream from people donating and gifting subs and all this other shit because they want to hear her sing. But she don't have a problem with it, and I told her, and we're open, we're honest about it. She's like, you may not let it consume you, but I won't let it consume you.
All right.
She's like, because I know what it did to you and how it made you, and the Bradley that I see now, the Bradley that I get now is the Bradley that I want. I don't want the Bradley that CC got. I want the Bradley that is here now. So she's my age. She's a month older than me, so she'll be 40 in June. She's got an 8-year-old little girl. She's a professional. She's got a good job. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's been through life. She's been through some shit. So, we're just at that point in each other's lives that, we've been through some shit and we want to be good for ourselves and one another and our children. So, so far so good. It's, we've been talking a couple months, and it's funny how I met her, and we started talking. One thing led to another, and we decided to both pump the brakes because I was honest with her. I was like, look, I still love my wife. I still want to try and make my marriage work. And she was like, all right, well, I'm not going to be the one to break up a marriage. If that's what you want, you go right ahead. And and she even said to me, she's like, if your wife doesn't want the man this has turned you into, that's her loss, and I'll be here to pick up the pieces. And sure enough, when I finally told CC to get the rest of her stuff out of her house, a couple days later, she was there to pick up the pieces, and we've been, officially boyfriend and girlfriend in a relationship ever since. So, shit's been good. She comes in the chat every night I stream. She's nice to everybody. She's been more interactive in the time that she has known about my stream than Cece was in the last couple years, last 3-4 years.
Now, would you ever get married again?
For some reason, when you start talking, I can't hear you.
I got a soft voice, but that's why I was saying, would you ever get married again?
I don't know. I really don't know, because this is my first marriage. I was in the military. I was young. My second one, my first one, I had a baby. We got married. Second one, we got married, had a baby, did it the right way. Third one, got married, had a baby, did it the right way. I'm a spiritual man. I do believe in God. I do believe in taking vows before God. I took my vows seriously in every one of my marriages. I had traditional, priest or whatever, or clergyman or whatever you want to call it. What is it when you get ordained? An ordained minister or something. I've taken vows before God. I never made my own vows. We had the traditional vows. Till death do you part, the Corinthians, the whole thing. So I do believe in taking vows before God and upholding those vows, but I've had 3 women in my life now that couldn't uphold their end of their vows. Now, my first 2 marriages were my fault. I didn't give a shit at all. I didn't care about their feelings, whatever. I just was young and ignorant and selfish. Like, I didn't care. And this one really hurt because I thought I was, you know, even though things went the way they were, and I can now visually see why things went the way they went, I still don't think it was enough to walk away. So I want a woman in my life that upholds those vows till death do us part, sickness and health, good times, bad times. Like, I want somebody to love me enough to look at me and love me through my flaws, because I'm not perfect. You know, my worst flaw is not having a filter, saying what I feel without even really thinking about it. I've gotten a lot better, but I'm still not perfect. So I'm still going to do shit that I probably shouldn't do. I'm still going to say things I probably shouldn't say. I'm still going to act like I shouldn't act. And that's because I'm human. But if I do it, I'm going to take a little bit. Like, if me and Green Eyes is her name on Twitch, and Nikki is her real name, if things progress and things get serious, and we're going to do it the right way. Like, we're not going to rush into anything, and we're going to make sure, because she's been married once, and engaged once, or engaged twice, something like that. So, you know, we're going to do it the right way. You know, her last couple relationships, she went fast. They moved in fairly quickly. Same with me. Moved in fairly quickly, got married fairly quickly. You know, even though this one lasted 6 years, you know, it's still making me think that, you know, you wanted to go about it the right way. So to answer your question, would I get married again? Yeah. If it presented itself, if things were done the right way, of course I'd, you know, get, you know, up on that altar, hold her hands and go through the same thing, like the traditional vows. Before God, till death do you part. Like, you're gonna have to be the one to leave me, because I'm not leaving you, because I take these vows seriously.
All right.
I've never cheated. I've never been physically abusive. I've never, like, I think the only thing in the Bible that allows you to divorce is adultery. And I've never been cheated. I've never cheated. My first 2 marriages I was cheated on, but I gave them a reason to. You know, I didn't care. I didn't care at all. I did my thing. I did me, and didn't care what they were doing. I helped both of them pack their shit. I was just like, all right, whatever, see you. And but this one hurt, because I felt like I was treating her right, even though at the time, and then when I look back on it, I really wasn't, because I wasn't giving her quality time. But yeah, to answer your question, it would have to be, would I? Yeah, but it would have to be done the right way.
Okay, now if you could say one thing to Cece, what would it be?
If what?
If you could say one thing to Cece, what would it be?
I'm sorry. Like, deep, genuinely sorry, because we had a good marriage up until, at least I thought we did. You know, we didn't argue. We didn't, you know, we were inseparable. We were, you know, I'm not bitter. I don't hate her. I've got some hatred on my heart right now for her, just because the last couple months, you know, she was seeing somebody and didn't tell me. And all I wanted from her from the moment she left this house was honesty. Like, if you don't want this no more, let me know, so that I can properly move on, properly, you know, do what I got to do. Because the whole time I was thinking, you know, she was leading me to believe that we were headed in the right direction. Those were her words. You know, she was letting me do things for her that led me to believe that we were headed in the right direction. And then, you know, I find out through somebody else that she's seeing somebody, and has been, all while letting me do certain things that she probably shouldn't have been letting me do if she was seeing somebody.
Yeah.
And now, we weren't sleeping together or whatever. We weren't doing that, but, you know, we were close. She was letting me kiss her on the cheek, and just doing things, letting me be sweet to her, letting me do things she wasn't letting me do when she first left. Like, it seemed like things were headed in the right direction. Those were her words.
Yeah.
And she's like, we're in a good place. Things are headed in the right direction. Let's just, you know, and once I found that out, like I felt like that was disloyal. And once I found that out, I was like, get your dog, get the rest of your stuff out the house. Let's we're getting a divorce. Like, I'm done. Like, she never told me she was done. I was the one to tell her after that. I was like, we're done. I was like, I can't. You played me. You played with my emotions. You knew how I felt about you. You knew what I wanted. You knew I wanted this marriage to work. You were doing this, and I would actually talk to the guy that she was seeing, and he had no idea. And I even said to him, I was like, all right, bro, what, you can have her. I was like, but if you want a relationship starting off based on lies, you have at it. 'Cause I'm done with her. And now it's just about co-parenting and being the best mom and dad we can be for our son. Which things have gotten better, but there's times where I sit here and I get pissed off every time I got to do something that we used to do together, like paying the bills, or now I got to look for a place to live, and now our son's in daycare. Like, our son has been with me every single day of his life since he was born, and now I got to see my son every other weekend and every Monday. Because she decided to quit on the marriage. She decided to walk out. Even though I ultimately was the one that said the words, I'm done. I think she was done. I think she just didn't want to say it. For whatever reason. But I told her from jump, if you don't want to be in this marriage, just tell me, just be honest. And I'm very, like I said, death before dishonor, death before dishonesty. Like, I'm honest to a fault. Like, there's a lot of people that hate me because I'm too damn honest, or I'm too blunt, I'm too outspoken. But that's just how I am. That's my principles. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want an honest answer, ask me, because I'm gonna give you an honest answer.
All right.
And I'm rambling, which I tend to do. But to answer your question, I'm sorry, because I know she was feeling however she was feeling. I was feeling how I was feeling. Her kids have a certain feeling. Like, I don't see them. I try and talk to them as much as possible. I'll text them. I'll text our daughter, who just turned 19, is in college. My stepson just turned 14, and then she has a stepson. She has my son from my previous, who misses her dearly, who misses his baby brother, who misses his stepbrother, who misses his stepsister. So it's a whole thing, man. Like, it's not just me and her. So it's tough, but I want her to know that I'm sorry.
Now, before we wrap it up and get out of here, is there anything or anyone you want to say something to, as far as the people who don't get to see you a lot, or on Twitter or stream lately?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you ever want to come check out, I'm as real and as raw and as uncut as it comes, man. No, I'm not as much as I used to be, because with all the shit that I've been going through the last few months, it's really opened my eyes up to other things as well. Now, the one thing I got to work on is still sending love notes to people that I either beat really bad or they beat me really bad and mad, because I have a bad habit of sending messages. I just come off a 7-day suspension on PlayStation for sending messages. But that's the only thing I really got to work on, because I don't rage as much as I used to. I still do. But if you want somebody, that's genuine, that listens to some good music, listens to a bunch of different music, just you want to come through and you just want to kick it and come to a community where we can talk about things, we can have grown-up discussions, we can disagree, but we respect one another, especially in my chat. I don't let no disrespect go down of any kind. Now, if you would like those Madden chats where you can go in and say whatever and do whatever just because the streamer wants your view or your sub or whatever, go stay in those chats, because it don't fly in mine. You can't come in, say and do whatever. I use my stream. I view my stream like I do my house. I'm not gonna let any stranger off the street come in my front door, piss and shit where they want to, eat my food, piss, shit, not flush, do whatever they want to in my house. I'm not gonna let you do whatever you want to in my stream. I don't need your view. I don't need your sub. If you're gonna be a dickhead, if you're gonna be an ignorant asshole, I don't want you in my stream. But just come through, man. I like I said, I work Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 8 right now, 11 Eastern till 8 Eastern, and then I stream for a few hours. After I get off work, I FaceTime FaceTime my son. I'm normally streaming by 8:30 Eastern every night. And you just want to come through and learn from an OG of the Twitch game, because like I said, Twitch has changed. Madden Twitch has changed in the last 5 years, definitely. There's still a few of us around. There's still a few of us OGs around that are still, kicking and making a decent living, so to speak. But to those of you that love me, I love you right back. For those of you that hate me, stay the fuck away from me. Unless you're Siwu or Jovan Lakey. Because I would love to meet both of you.
Now, where can they find you on Twitch?
What was that?
Where can they find you on Twitch? What's your Twitch name?
Twitch.tv /BIG_KEP13. You can find me on Twitch there. You can find me on Twitter. Just BigKep13. No underscore. And yeah, man, I mean, hell, I've been in this game 5 years. I'm in the process of finally getting merch done. Because I was just like, whatever. I'm not famous. I just stream video games. Like, who the fuck wants to wear a t-shirt with my face or my whatever? Right. And lo and behold, there's a lot of people that are like, yo, Kep, if you had some merch, I'd buy it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Let me get my name on a t-shirt or something. But because I'm just not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I'm anybody. I'm just a guy that streams video games, loves Madden, loves kicking it. Like, that's why my stream's called The Stoop, because where I grew up, it was The Stoop. My house was The Stoop. Just a porch with some steps. We all sat on it, bust each other's balls, holler at girls that walk by, fucking, that was The Stoop. So that's where you just come to my stream and hang out, man. Just come to the stream, hang out, be respectful, bust each other's balls a little bit, and learn about life and sports or whatever we want to talk about, music, whatever. But if you come to The Stoop, you got to be respectful of who's in there. Because if you're not, then your ass gets booted off The Stoop. But that's about it, man. Twitch, Twitter. I give back to those who have supported me. Like, I don't do the whole, publicity thing, like putting it out on Twitter. I'm doing giveaways, da. If you come to the stream, you'll know when I'm doing it. And that's really it, man. I try and keep everything low key unless I really don't have to keep things low key. So, yeah, man. Cali, I really appreciate it, man. Again, apologies to you for the whole view bot and shit, because I didn't really knew how that went down. But we've been boys for a while, and again, we were grown about it, backpedaled, and you're still my boy, man. I ain't got again, I like what you're doing with your stream now with the podcast, and keep doing you, brother. I appreciate you for having me on and let me speak a little bit.
I appreciate you. All right, well, have a good night. I hope to check you in some of the streams, and video will be up.